Hi, 5th grade. So the weather has not been the most cooperative for setting up the model for doing shadows, but we're going to move ahead with this video because I actually started it on a sunny day. But just like we do in science class, we're going to begin with an I can statement. After observing the shadow of a stationary object over several hours, I can predict the approximate length and location of the shadow at a future time. Después de observar la sombra de un objeto estacionado durante varias horas, puedo predecir la longitud aproximada y la ubicación de la sombra en el futuro. Okay guys, so here I am recreating the model where we start noticing shadows cast by several things in the area, primarily things like mailboxes, cars, trees. But we're trying to set up a model, so I had to relocate my stick. Actually, I left my old stick where it was. But I'm setting up a new location. It is 9:30 in the morning. And because the shadow's being cast on the grass, it was a little harder for me to mark it. So what I did instead, if you can see, is I just put a stick right where the shadow ends. And I'll be able to check that out later. So I will come out again at 11:30, 1:30, and probably 3:30 and see if we see any patterns. Okay, I'm back outside again. Now it's 11:30. I decided to mark with a string where the shadow was before at 9:30. I'll zoom in case you're not noticing the string. But there it is. So when I zoom back out, hopefully you can see it. And of course now I have my new mark for where the shadow is at 11:30. So as I get onto the stone and the pavement, I am using my flour and water mixture because, you know, I don't have chalk at home, which really surprised me. And I'm sorry about the noise in the background, but yep, we've got some yard work going on with the neighbors next door. But I'll be back out again in 2 hours. We'll see if we see any changes and if we're noticing any patterns. Already I'm noticing something going on, actually two different things. Hopefully you guys are seeing it too. Okay, it's now 1:30. So I have 3 marks. I don't know if you guys can see it all, so I will get closer and then back up again. So at 9:30, we have this mark. Right along here, this was the shadow at 9:30 of that stick. And then 11:30. And now 1:30 goes like this. So again, I'm hoping you're noticing some patterns. I also think it'd be cool, I'm showing you how easy it is for you guys to set up yourself. So I will ask questions about this and some, have them in Google form. Okay, it's now 3:30 and I've marked the shadow again of this stick. So I've marked it at 4 different times in one day. Again, having you guys possibly notice some patterns, notice the changes. Can you now predict what the shadow cast by this stick will look like at 5:30? So again, I've been doing this every 2 hours. That first white string that you see from here over to there, that was at 9:30, 11:30, 1:30, And now, make sure I can see the whole thing. I gotta back up. 3:30. So I'm gonna ask you guys to fill in a Google form. There's gonna be some questions. And I think it'd be awesome if you guys try to set up something similar for yourself. So it's not just me filming it, but you guys actually experiencing it. Okay, good luck. Okay, so here's the model I made on a sunny day. I'm trying to get a bird's eye view of it so that when you guys see me transform this onto a piece of paper, you'll have the same visual. Hopefully me explaining this in video transfers over into the paper version. And we'll make our prediction as to what the shadow at 5:30 will look like.